Ready?
And
Yes.
welcome back to the channel.
Stand by.
Hope y'all guys having a good day. Make sure you have a great rest of your day. Now let's get into it. Alright, so I just finished running a 2-gun match last weekend. Full day of raining the entire time. So I figured it's the perfect chance to talk about the optic setup that I ran. Full disclosures, Vector Optics did send this optic out to the channel for test and review. They knew I was running a match. This is what they sent. You guys know I do a ton of reviews for this company. So let's get into it. I was running the Vector Optics Frenzy Plus 1x31x26. It was the version that is multi-reticle. It's not the one with the solar on it. It's basically the same thing, it just doesn't have the solar. I don't even know if the solar has the multi-reticle functions. So it's probably a give and take. But it was paired up with the Maverick 3x22 Magnifier.
Yes.
The whole thing was mounted on my Alex Pro AR. And I put about 400 rounds through it during the practice and the match. This is not a bench review. It is not a first impressions. This is based on real world use in wet conditions for all of my reloads, transitions, and steel hits under stress. Now let's start with the setup. I've got the Frenzy Plus mounted on a riser mount, which it automatically comes with that. So I get that lower 1/3 co-witness, which is perfect for how I like to shoot. I had irons on it, but I just took them off, didn't need to touch them. The magnifier, it sits right behind it on a flip to side mount. The sight picture with the two together is surprisingly clean. You don't get any weird reflections, no fisheye effect. The weight is pretty decent, it's not bad. I mean, it is almost similar to a light LPVO, like a 1-4, maybe a 1-6 LPVO, depending on what kind of mount that you have it in. I didn't feel like I was dragging any extra poundage around with me during the transitions or stage movements. So the Frenzy Plus does not actually impress me. It's one time, of course, and that 31x26mm window gives you a nice wide field of view. Big enough to catch your dot fast coming up on a low ready and switching shoulder to shoulder, which I did more than a few times in the rain. What I really like is the multi-reticle system. You can swap between a simple dot, a circle dot, and a few other combos. I stuck mostly to the circle dot. Super quick to center on the steel from 50 to 100, even out to 200. And you can make that transition fast in between the barricades. Brightness wise, it is daylight bright, no question. Even with the water on the lens, I had no problem picking up that reticle. You know how some dots wash out and bloom when you get too much water on it? This one stayed very sharp. Water pooled up on the lens, and you know what I did? Swiped it off. Didn't have any problems. Swiped it off with my shirt. So you have 3 buttons. 2 for the brightness and 1 for night vision. You have one that up changes the reticle, down takes it down, and then you have the night vision. Your battery compartment is easy to get to. I didn't need to change the batteries at all. They're 2 AAA batteries and you get that 50,000 hours of battery life. Now, zeroing it, it was very quick. I sighted it in at first at 36 yards. This is what I do most of the time. I do the 36 yards and it easily translates over. But when I got into the competition and I found out how far we were going to be shooting steel, I decided to move over to the 100 yard zero, which was a little different for me, but it worked out very well on the steel because I had to do offhand shots and some from the barricades. After the whole day of me shooting, throwing it in the car, getting it back home, I checked the zero once again, went out to the range, it was still dead on. So that says a lot for the durability, especially at this price point. Now let's talk about the Maverick. Honestly, at first, I didn't know what to think about it being a compact 3x magnifier. I didn't expect too much out of it, but man, did it deliver. The flip to side mount was tight. It didn't loosen up at all throughout the day. And it was quick enough to flip out of the way mid-stage. Took maybe a half a second. You can do it while transitioning between targets without losing too much time. The glass clarity, for what it is on the magnifier, it is pretty good. The edge-to-edge clarity is decent. My hits out to 200 and 300 yards were easy. I used just the dot at 200 because I was confident at that. But at the 300, I had to see where I was actually hitting. So with that magnifier, you're able to get your positive ID out to range only up to about 300 yards. At 400, it starts to get iffy. The eye relief, it was pretty generous as well. I didn't have to get any awkward mashing my face up on the stock, mashing my face up behind the magnifier, getting too close, maybe catching scope eye from it. No weird shooting angles. It was tightly put together. Together, this setup worked very well. Close range under 100, I stayed on the dot. It was fast, easy to track, even with the rain downpouring. The window stayed usable. The size of the housing gives you just enough space to catch a target and track it. Then, when the stage came up for the 200 and 300 yard steal, I flipped the magnifier to the 300 and I got a cleaner picture and made the hits. Flipped it out of the way again. It never slowed me down too much, and it gave me way more flexibility in the match state. And now the real test, all day in the rain. Like, it was soaked. On certain stages, we were soaked. Like, you couldn't see your front iron soaked like that much. The optic got wet, obviously, but neither fogged up inside. And that's huge because they are aspheric lens and they have been purged out very well. I've had cheaper dots get moisture inside and fog up mid-stage. Not this one. I did need to wipe the front lens a few times, especially if I was muzzle up. It kept working all day without me having to baby either of them. Alright, so a quick rundown what I liked and why I would change. It was super fast acquisition with the red dot. Multi-reticle options adds versatility. You can tailor it to your stage and your shooting style. The magnifier gave me a real world accuracy boost at distance. Everything held up the recoil, banging it around, pouring rain. Budget friendly without feeling cheap. However, I will say the buttons on the Frenzy can be a bit fiddly with gloves, cold hands, and wet fingers. Which probably that's the only thing that I would change on it. Bottom line, if you run a local match, training days, or just want a flexible red dot setup without dropping big name money, this combo delivers, and it delivers very well. The Frenzy Plus does its job. Fast, clear, and tough. The Maverick gives you just enough magnification to stretch out your AR legs without bulk. For a full day of wet, muddy, real world competition use, they held up. Would I run it again? Absolutely. And I'd recommend it to anyone looking to get into two guns or improve their AR setup without blowing your whole gear budget. Just make sure you practice the magnifier flip, carry a lens cloth, and you're good to go. Now, what I want to point out is that there was a creator by the name of Focus Trip. Good guy, we talk and converse all the time, so don't think this is any bad blood. He had some definite concerns, and they were worthy of Vector's attention. He called it out. They did not get mad at him. That was his critical analysis of the product. And I gotta say, I got the newer version of the product. What he pointed out, all of it was fixed except for one little thing. So when you go to max brightness, you do get like a square around the reticle. I guess that's from the housing. I'm not sure, and I don't know what the name of that is, but either way, it is still slightly there when you take the brightness all the way up. And you can really see it pronounced behind the magnifier. Other than that, Vector fixed every single issue. And I don't know about the night vision use either, so I can't speak on that as well. But that's besides the point. Either way, they fixed all of the issues with this red dot. Vector is a stand-up company. They listen to the users, they listen to the consumers, and they listen to their review partners. And they make the changes, and you get your money's worth out of these optics. Yes, I have got a ton of optics from this company. I haven't had any bad reviews from them yet, and you probably won't see any bad reviews. Don't take it as I don't give negative reviews. The reason why you probably won't ever see a bad review from me from Vector is because I'm T&E in this stuff. The products that test out good and we don't have any problems with it, videos get published 45 days to 2 months later. The ones that I have problems out of, I will let them know. I will keep the footage. I will put the footage in on the next go around when I get the optic back and the stuff is fixed and the problem is resolved. So don't take it as me being a sellout. No, that is not what it is. I'm not here to tear this company down. I'm here to help uplift it. Plain and simple. I'm not here to sell you products. I'm here to showcase the products, to show you that they are good and they are not just airsoft rated products like a lot of people think they are. These products, every single site that I have gotten from them, they have stood up to the usage, stood up to the throwing around in the car, riding all over the place, and high round counts. I still have optics from them almost a year ago that I'm still using, and they still work and are still zero to the gun that I put them on. Now, with all that being said, I'll see y'all fellas in the next one, but don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, come back and enjoy some more content, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a blessed day.